Good afternoon. Happy Saturday. You're listening to the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. Hey, it's a show where pounds are shed, disease is dead, and where you can be set free from your health problems. I'm your host, Dr. Aaron Ernst, and what an incredible first weekend of September, officially, right? So it's, the 5th today. How exciting. We've survived 9 months of 2020, and it's, it's getting a little bit better, but we still have a long way to go to back to normal. And I want to share with you guys today some insights. I'm going on a series now. I'm into part 2 of how to heal yourself. And last week we talked about how your brain wants to heal you. And that was a great show. So if you missed that, right, you missed a lot. Okay, you missed part 1 of 3 parts here. So iTunes.com. You can go to radio.com. You can go to WBT.com. You can, go find this. Ask Dr. Ernst and listen to last week's show. Really good, if you ask me. I'm just being impartial to it, I guess, right? All my shows are good. And today we're going to the next layer on your gut and how it wants to heal you, and will you let it? Okay, will you let your body heal by itself? See, a lot of us are interfering with the natural process, right? And I'm trying to think of an analogy like, hey, it's a bad one, but if you were to jump off a building, you would want something to interfere with you hitting the floor, right? Like a parachute interferes with gravity by using air resistance to slow you down so when you land, you're alive, okay? So thank God for that interference. But when you want your body to interfere, you don't want to slow that down. You don't want to stop or diminish the power that you have inside of you. So we all know that our bodies have the ability to heal themselves. We all know that it's a God-given gift. It's innate. It just happens. Cut your skin. Yes, it bleeds, but as long as you bring the 2 sections close together, you don't have to do much. You just sit back and wait, and then all of a sudden, ta-da, you've healed from that. Okay, so there's no difference between that happening and you getting rid of heart disease, diabetes, MS, Parkinson's, cancer, blood pressure issues, you name it. Unless you think there is a difference. And hey, that was our show 3 weeks ago. If you think you can, if you think you can't, you're right. So be careful. So today I want to talk a lot about your gut. All that stuff inside your belly. Listen to this, 4,000 square feet of surface area that you have called your intestinal lining. That's a lot. Imagine having a 4,000 square foot house and having to clean that every day. Ugh, many of you would go, I'm going to have to hire a cleaner. Okay, so your gut is 4,000 square feet of surface area. It's a lot. And when it's working properly, it creates this tight barrier. And the purpose of the barrier is to prevent crud, viruses, bacteria, toxins, you name it, from getting inside your body, into your bloodstream. Because if you have all that stuff in there, you're going to create inflammation, irritation, and damage called disease. Okay, so an unhealthy gut can have what are called cracks, crevices, holes. Okay, scientifically they say it's increased intestinal permeability. It's a big word. Increased intestinal permeability. It translates into your guts leaking, a leaky gut. Now, there is a lot of research behind what I'm about to share with you today, so I don't want you to just think like, we're talking about this made-up disease called leaky gut. No, you know what's made up? Restless leg syndrome. That's a complete farce. Fibromyalgia. A diagnosis of exclusion. We don't know what you have, so we're just going to call it fibromyalgia. That's made up. Increased intestinal permeability has a lot of research behind it, and I've got stuff from Harvard, the National Library of Medicine, some very key leading researchers. Guys, you're going to learn today, your gut has so much to do with you being healthy that you are giving it little credit. Ready? I've got science today I'm going to share with you that shows that if you have diabetes type 1, which we've always thought is genetic, which we're learning we were wrong, it's actually a gut issue. Type 2 diabetes, gut issue. Autoimmune disease, lupus, scleroderma, psoriasis, it's actually a gut issue. Look at this one, heart disease, the plaquing of your arteries. Guys, listen, guys, and I say guys because men deal with this more than women, but can women have heart attacks from clogged arteries? Yes, it's just not as likely. So if you've ever been told, gentlemen, that you've got a clogged artery, it's actually your gut making it get clogged. Yeah, go figure. Cancer. What about cancer, right? Can cancer come from having a gut issue? Research says yes. Survey says. High blood pressure? Yep. Fibromyalgia? Yep. Thyroid problems? Yep. MS issues? Yep. Anxiety? Yes. Alzheimer's? Yes. Parkinson's? Yes. Neurological disorders? Yes. That's a lot. Why? It's a major interference. Major interference. Last week we talked about how your brain wants to heal you, and if you have brain and communication problems, not brain problems, I'm talking communication problems, right? Your brain doesn't talk to your body because your spine's out of alignment, the nerves are compressed, there's irritation, you're out of postural distortion, then your brain can't heal you. Now we're talking about how your gut, if it's interfered with, if it's leaking, if it has the wrong type of bacteria in it, it can't heal you because your gut is supposed to heal you. How do we know that? 70% of your immune system lives in your intestines. Some actual authors are saying it's 80%. It's a lot. So your gut, not your stomach. See, I had this one patient come to me. She's like, oh, my stomach hurts. And she's holding her intestines. And I'm like, what? Your stomach's under your ribs here. If your stomach hurts, you'd be going, my stomach. And she's like, what? My stomach is there? See, sometimes we don't understand what we're saying. Your stomach is under your ribs proper, right? When you swallow food, it goes into your stomach, digest food under the ribs. Your gut, your belly is your large intestine and small intestine. And here's the deal. Look at this. Leaky gut affects your whole body. When I say look at this, remember, we're streaming on YouTube, we're streaming on Twitter, we're streaming on Facebook, we're streaming on whatever will allow us to stream. Watch the video, guys. AskDrErnst.com is the website. Ask Dr. Ernst is the handle. Joints, yes. Sinuses, yes. Brain, yes. Skin, yes. Colon, yes. Thyroid, yes. Adrenals, yes. Your gut affects your whole body, and we got to talk about it today so you can learn more about how to fix it. And the music means there's a commercial coming up. And now's the best time, right? We're going to open up our call lines. We're going to open up our text lines. Last week, 90% of you texted us, so do it. 704-906-2094. What do we need? Name and email, because next Saturday is my webinar on how to heal yourself. It's the 12th of September, 10 a.m. in the morning, 704-906-2094. Call it, 704-906-2094. Text, name and email. It's the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. We'll be right back.
People are the heart of Jordan Essentials, and our products are the cornerstone. 100% of the population needs skincare in some shape or form, and of course there's a lot to choose from. So what makes Jordan Essentials different? We often like to say it's what we don't put in our products. We avoid harmful chemicals and pack our products with natural, botanical, beneficial solutions for you and your family.
All right, you're listening to the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. My name is Dr. Aaron Ernst. Thanks for tuning in on this really beautiful Saturday. It's the first Saturday of September, so we need to celebrate. We need to be victorious over ourselves, our health. Look, you get to pick how you want today to be. You can have it be amazing, or you can have it be the worst day of your life. And don't let your situations dictate your outcome to your day. Remember, we get to decide if today's going to be an incredible day. So I've already chosen that today's going to be an incredible day because I'm going to apply what I have learned myself here, and I hope that you do the same. Our show topic of the hour is, your gut wants to heal you. Will you let it? What do I mean by your gut? Well, it's the intestines, small intestine, large intestine. They sit inside of your body, and your gut affects your whole body's health. Your joints, your nose, your brain, your skin, your sinuses, your colon, your adrenals. And it affects things like diabetes, high blood pressure, cholesterol problems. So what I'm about to share with you today may burst a bubble, but that's okay. Bubbles need to be burst so you can fill them with new bubbles. The idea is you thought you knew what your health was about, and you're going to learn today, the research that's new, 2017, 2018, 2020 is saying that our gut is actually what helps you to heal. So we got to help you to find out, do you have a gut problem, and what do we do about it? I'm also opening up our call and text line. It was really busy over the last commercial break. I'm hosting a webinar on Saturday, the 12th of September, so that's next week, 10 a.m., and all I want to know is, will you let me come into the comfort of your home through a webinar presentation where I can show you how to heal yourself? 3 secrets to activate self-healing in your body. I'll release them, and whatever you're dealing with can disappear by itself. We have currently 175 people registered, so I can hold as many as I can. Right? It's a webinar, right? If I want there to be like 700 on this thing. So to me, 170-something, we're a little shy. Help me to help you. Isn't it like a Jerry Maguire thing? Help me. I don't know. It's from somewhere. So do this, right? 704-906-2094. If you're shy and you don't want to talk to a soul, easy. Text over your email and your name. Okay, first and last. I had somebody over the break say, Jim, and they gave me their email, which was like JCK1276946# hashtag, and I'm like, how on earth am I supposed to know your last name with that? And then he finally texted us his last name. First and last name, email, and then your phone number comes through because you texted. What's the number again? 704-906-2094. Hey, if you like to chat, they'll pick up the phone and they'll talk with you. So do the same. All right? What is a leaky gut and how does it cause health issues? Okay? To the first degree, I can just describe it like this, okay? If you're not currently watching, please go to YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook /Ask Dr. Ernst and watch the live video, okay? Like we're sitting in the studio right now, and I'm holding up infographics and all kinds of things. This is a picture of the cells of your intestines, the blood underneath them, and what we call the mucosal layer and all the bacteria and stool and stuff. So what should happen is they're tight together. See, they look like knuckles. And nothing goes through, so your blood stays clean and all the crud goes to the toilet. Well, a leak is technically when the cells become irritated and they spread apart. So the crud that should go to the toilet, I know this is gross, right? The crud that should go to the toilet gets into your blood. And let me just ask you a question. Bacteria, virus, toxins, parasites, undigested food particles, is that a good idea for those things to get into your blood? No. You do not want that. Yet, you have about a 90% chance that it's happening to you right now if you're diagnosed with a condition. How do we know this? Well, all medications cause a gut to leak. So whatever you're taking for whatever you have is making your gut leak worse, which is making what you have worse. It's like a catch-22 loop. See it? You're never going to get out of that cycle. Well, doc, I thought if I just would take the meds, they would solve my... No. All prescribed medications cause the gut to leak by definition, and that causes you to have a worsening of the ability for your body to heal itself. So if you're taking a pill for something, you won't heal until you seal the gut. Hey, look, heal, seal. Sorry. So what is a gut leak? Okay, technically, by definition, it is when the permeability, meaning how permeable is this, is increased such that large particles slip through and they get into the bloodstream. Now, is this permeable? Yeah. You need nutrition, nutrients, vitamins, minerals, cofactors to get through. We want to absorb the good stuff, but we want to let the bad go through. So over here, the cells are absorbing the good, but the bad is leaking through, and then the body goes red alert. And we get all kinds of signals. Now, here's the crazy thing, okay? And I'm going to start with diabetes. I don't know if you guys can read this or not. Is that legible? Passage to pancreas. Okay, so bacteria come through, they get in, and then there's irritation that heads to the pancreas. They're now finding out that you can discover if your gut's leaking by eating something, and if you have a massive spike in your blood sugar, it's a self-test. So think how cool this is. Okay, now diabetics are like, happens to me all the time. I ate a piece of fruit and my sugars went to 400. Doc, what does that mean? Gut's leaking. Well, my doctor says it's my insulin. They're wrong. Okay, what about somebody who's healthy and they eat, say, oatmeal for breakfast and their sugars go to 300 or 200 or that, well, how would I know, doc? I mean, like, I can't feel that. Exactly. You have to test for it. So the newest of newest research is saying gut leaks send a signal to your pancreas, and your pancreas says, hey, turn off insulin. Let that sugar come back out. So it affects our response to blood sugars. So do you see where I'm going with this? Let's talk about the science, all right? National Library of Medicine, I found an article that says there's a steep increase in type 1 diabetes in the Western world, specifically after World War II. We'll talk about that. And it cannot be solely genetic. So what the authors are saying is it's not our genes that are causing the raise in type 1 diabetes, yet type 1 diabetes is genetic. Go figure, right? What they're discovering is that there is a parallel phenomenon, ready for this, where there's a maturation in the gut microbiome that appears to not take place. Children's intestinal bacteria are immature, so they don't grow properly the way they should, and the appearance of the first ever T1D, type 1 diabetic, associated autoantibody has been discovered. Wow, I have to translate that for you. They're now saying that type 1 diabetes is an autoimmune disease, not genetic, and it's coming from a misfire within the intestinal system in children. So when your kids' guts are off balance, there's a likelihood they could develop type 1 diabetes. Let's go a little deeper. I mean, they go really deep, right? They're saying that there's a pathogenic cause. Pathogenic meaning we know the cause of the disease. There is this protein that we find in your blood called zonulin. If you have high levels of zonulin, your likelihood of having type 1 diabetes is extremely high. Now, guess where zonulin comes from? Zonulin is the protein that is excreted by the intestines when they leak. Where's my paper? When the cells leak, the alert to the body, red alert, we're leaking, we're leaking, we're leaking. These cells give off zonulin. Zonulin tells the brain there's a gut leak. The brain's like, I'm on it. I'm going to try to fix this for you. And as long as the vagus nerve is open, we talked about this last week, as long as the vagus nerve is open and the spine is free of interference, the brain will go down and go, and it will tighten the leak. But many of you have vagal nerve irritation. You can't feel it. And so the brain's like, I see the zonulin. I can't get down there. I can't fix it. There's an interference in the nerve system. You see why it's so important that your brain needs to heal you. So if you have cleared the brain interference by seeking chiropractic care or doing something to correct your posture physically, finding out the distortions in your spine, now the brain will say, red alert, I see the zonulin, and it'll send an electronic neurological signal to seal the gut. But if you're taking medications, what happens? It's sealed, it breaks, it's sealed, it breaks, it's sealed, it breaks, it's sealed, it breaks. It's like a scab that you keep picking. No, don't heal. Don't. And that's going to get festering, and that's going to get dangerous. You guys understand where I'm going with this? Man, I hope you can see this. The same study also found out that zonulin elevation is evident in those with type 2 diabetes and the obese. Translation, guys. Zonulin comes high when your gut's leaking. They are seeing high levels of zonulin in people with diabetes, type 2, type 1, and obesity. So they're saying, okay, either the gut leak is causing the obesity, the diabetes, and the type 1, or the type 1 and the obesity and the diabetes is causing the gut to leak. But it doesn't really matter because it's just a circle. It's a catch-22. Okay, I found another one. Listen to this. The human gut microbiome and obesity has been connected such that data suggests, can you see my eyes are looking down? I'm reading. Data can suggest bacterial composition and gut microbiome differs between those who are obese and those who are not. What does that mean? If you're fat and overweight and you got too much fat on you, your gut microbiome looks the same as people who are overweight. If you're thin and skinny, your gut microbiome does not look like those who are overweight. So now watch this. They didn't do this with humans because this is a little weird. Just follow me for a second. They took mice that were genetically obese, and they took mice that were genetically not obese, thin, and they went like this. Let's take their microbiome, all the bacteria. Let's do a fecal transplant. It's a big word. Fecal transplant. They took the stool bacteria out of the obese mice that are genetically obese, and they put them in the thin mice, and guess what happened? The thin mice got fat. Now, the researchers said, well, let's see if it works the other way. So they took the bacteria out of the thin mice, and they put in the obese, genetically obese mice, and what happened? They shrank. And they went, whoa, the cure for obesity is a fecal transplant. Now, how many of you are going to run to your doctor? I'm here today to have my fecal transplant. The problem is this. Where are you going to get a donor host from another human being? You can't use mice. Where are you going to get a donor fecal. They're on their way, trust me. 5 or 10 years from now, when I'm still doing this show, I'm going to say, yeah, Susan just had a fecal transplant, and now she doesn't have diabetes, heart disease, MS, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's. So they're getting there, but it's not there yet. Now, can you do this yourself? Yes, you can rebuild your microbiome. We're going to talk about that in a moment. But look at what the research is saying. Large variations in the individual makeup of one's microbiome has been studied such that we know by looking at your microbiome profile what the cause of your condition is. High blood sugar, physical diet, activity, and other body measurements are meaningless when it comes to health because it's the actual microbiome makeup. Meaning, do you have a gut leak? And are these bacteria off balance getting into you, causing disruption? You're going to see in a moment as I come back from the next commercial break, they've actually found the bacteria that if you have these in your blood because of the leak, they cause cancer. Specifically, they cause high blood pressure. Specifically, there's even some they're finding. I'm going to tease you a little bit. Ready? There's some bacteria that they find that causes an increase in this thing called TMAO. So the gut bacteria get into the blood. The liver sees it. It creates TMAO. TMAO goes and makes everything go haywire. You start to have kidney problems, heart disease, metabolic syndrome, type 2 diabetes. You have all these health issues because of TMAO. Did you know about TMAO? If not, we got to talk. So guys, commercials are on their way. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to continue the conversation, but I'm opening up the call lines. It's been quiet. I don't know why. Nobody's calling. 704-906-2094. Text us your name and your email, and what you get is free admission to next Saturday, 10 a.m. in the morning, How to Heal Yourself webinar. 3 secrets will be revealed. 704-906-2094. It's the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. We'll be right back.
So this is the difference between biodynamic and conventional farming. Let's look at the difference in vineyards here. You have very green grass and herbs and life growing, and then dead soil over here. So this is a conventional vineyard where they spray pesticides, they use a lot of tractors to pull up the soil. This soil is dead, it's dry. There's no life. This is Klaus's vineyard. It's farmed biodynamically. Everything is picked by hand and they don't use any chemicals. So there's life, there's green grass, everything grows. This is the big disparity between conventional farming and biodynamic farming, and you can see it perfectly side by side. We prefer this wine, of course, because this wine is dead. There's nothing living in it.
Here's a secret your grocery store does not want you to know. At ThriveMarket.com, get up to 50% off all your organic groceries, delivered to your door for free. Shop organic, non-GMO, gluten-free, and paleo. And get a free jar of coconut oil. Thrive Market. Wholesome products, wholesale prices. Get your free coconut oil today only at ThriveMarket.com.
All right, good afternoon. Happy Saturday. You're listening to the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. I'm your host, Dr. Aaron Ernst, and I love the fact that you're here today. We have an incredible conversation. In fact, we've been having a little chatter going on in the background on Facebook.com/AskDrErnst. Several of you have messaged us directly, not only just saying hi, so I said hi to all of you, yes, and I liked a lot of your posts, so thank you for doing that. Make sure you guys, hit the little heart button, right? That little heart. Love. Like the thumbs up, right? Because Facebook and other sources like that use your interaction to determine if they're going to keep showing people this show today. We're also on YouTube.com, Twitter.com, Instagram.com. Ask Dr. Ernst is the handle. I had a few people actually stumble across our website apparently and start sending questions in. So that's great. You can do that too. AskDrErnst.com. And surprisingly enough, 2 people today actually asked for a consultation, which is free, just so you know. If you got a health issue, go on over to AskDrErnst.com, click on the button Request a Consultation. It's free, 15 minutes. You and I can talk directly about your health issue. And you can even pick the day and time automatically. It takes you straight to my calendar. You just choose what's available, and then I'll call you at the time you pick. Pretty cool, isn't it? And how much is that? Free. When's the last time you had a doctor just chat with you for 15 minutes and not charge you a dime for it? Never, right? Even through most insurance companies. Look, if I coded that consultation over the phone, it's about a $75 billing service that I could do if I wanted to, but I don't need to do that. Okay, so if you want to do that, great. We're talking today about how your gut can control your health. It wants to heal you. It does, but either you're interfering with it or it's interfered with. And hold on, somebody's texting over. What's the call line number? Okay, if you're trying to get through to get on to our show next week, okay, 10 a.m., I'm doing a pre-special webinar before the radio show, which is at 3 o'clock. Okay, I'm every 3 o'clock, every Saturday at 3 o'clock here, like this. But next Saturday, the 12th of September, at 10 a.m., I'm going to hop on with you directly and do a webinar on how to heal yourself. So if you want to get on that, 704-906-2094, 704-906-2094. Call it. I got a bunch of people who are there to answer the phone. They just need your name, phone number, email. Or if you want to text over, if you don't like to call, just text your name and your email. And that's it. That's all you got to do because we know what you're texting for. Okay, so that's how you get onto that. Okay, so Mary, hopefully that helps you. Okay, heart. I kind of teased you guys a little bit about how there's this new study showing that your gut bacteria, if they get into your blood, releases this thing called TMA, and TMA goes into your liver and is turned into TMAO, and that goes back into your body and does all kinds of stuff. It affects your heart, your kidneys, your intestines, your microbiome. It increases the plaquing of your arteries. So, oh my God, do you guys see where I'm going with this? The current model is cholesterol and inflammation causes heart disease. The actual research model says, nope, the gut microbiome causes heart disease. Man, that's huge. So the old saying that a way to a man's heart, could be a woman though, way to a man's heart is through his stomach is true. Now, I know what you're thinking, right? That was like, if you want to make your man happy, you fill him up and you feed him. I get it, but guess what, right? It's true. Studies show that the gut-heart connection has been discovered. Heart disease is the leading cause of death in the United States today. You have a 1 in 2 chance that by the time you hit about 75, you're going to have a heart attack. So it's no surprise that every single person under my voice could benefit from what I'm about to share with them. The effects of heart disease are extremely devastating to a ton of families, and here's the deal. There is studies, and I found this one here, 2018, it's not that old, the Journal of Digestive Disease and Science. They had people who got tested and found out there was too much bacteria in their intestines. It's a condition called SIBO, S-I-B-O, small intestine bacterial overgrowth, had a, ready for this, listen, 80% higher chance of having a heart attack. Come on. An 80% chance of having a heart attack if you had SIBO. What they discovered is that it's specific bacteria in the intestines that do two things. They raise your blood pressure, they raise your cholesterol, and they affect the inflammatory process such that it can create plaquing in the arteries of your heart. 2018 Journal of Digestive Disease and Science. Now, let's go a little deeper. Another aspect in a different study found that there's a metabolite called TMAO, which I showed you earlier, right? So this is an infographic that came from the study, TMAO. It is released by certain bacteria in the body when they eat a specific product called choline, which is found in eggs and red meat. Do you see where I'm going with this? They used to say that if you eat a lot of eggs, you have a heart attack. Well, it's not the eggs that are causing it. It's the bacteria in your gut that are eating the choline in the eggs. What about this? I had a heart attack, doc. I can't eat red meat. I'm going to have a heart attack again if I eat red meat. Not true at all. The current research says it's the choline found in the red meat if you have small intestine bacterial overgrowth that leads to TMAO production, which leads to increased risks of heart disease. So the red meat doesn't cause the heart disease. The inappropriate bacteria in your gut does. Now, I see where you're going with it, right? Well, doc, wouldn't that mean if I don't eat red meat, I'm not going to make the TMAO? Well, yeah, but that's like treating symptoms. Don't eat red meat for the rest of your life. Good luck, average male American, right? What am I supposed to eat? White meat? Blue meat? I can't have red meat? Okay, so look, in a review that was published in the Journal of American Heart Association, 19 different studies have confirmed the link between TMAO and your risk of heart disease. 19 studies. Now, let me ask you a question, Mr. or Mrs. WBT listener. Has your cardiologist told you about this? If you ask your cardiologist, what do you think they're going to say? I've had patients who I highly educate go to their cardiologist and say, "Hey, doc, have you tested my TMAO levels?" And the cardiologist is like, "You're what? What? We've tested your cholesterol, and it's high. You need a statin." No, TMAO. Listen, I'm going to read this directly. People who had a higher level of blood serum TMAO were 62% more likely to have a heart condition. Where does the TMAO come from, guys? It comes from your gut. It comes from bacteria in your gut, eating the choline in the foods you eat, producing this byproduct that is toxic to the human body. A disrupted gut lining is the third most potential cause mechanism behind the underlying cause of cardiovascular disease. Reading, when gut lining weakens, it becomes leaky. A leaky gut allows for particles such as food and bacteria to move across the bloodstream, causing inflammation and allergies. This is especially problematic when a specific product called TMAO is present. Large amounts of TMAO enter the circulation and lead to inflammation, a cluster of symptoms called metabolic endotoxemia. Boom. Heart disease from your gut. Hey, it's the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. We're discussing how your gut wants to heal you. Are you going to let it? And I'm giving tickets away right now to my seminar next Saturday. It's a webinar, 10 a.m. in the comfort of your home. Call or text 704-906-2094. We just need your name and your email, and we'll take care of the rest. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Greetings, it's Todd, the founder of Dry Farm Wines. The most common question we get from wine drinkers: how is it that your wines are sugar-free? Well, here's the story. Wine grapes are full of sugar at harvest. Sugar is needed for fermentation, where yeast feed on it to transform that sugar into alcohol. The yeast keep eating the sugar until there isn't any left, and the yeast die naturally, which completes fermentation. The result is a dry, sugar-free wine. That's how natural wines we source are made. However, most wines are not made that way. Commercial winemakers often stop fermentation prematurely by adding sulfur dioxide to the wine to kill the yeast, leaving residual sugar behind in their wines. Commercial winemakers do this all the time. We only source and drink fully fermented wines with less than 1 gram per liter of sugar. And statistically, that's sugar-free. And the only way to really know if a wine is sugar-free is to lab test it. And that's why Dry Farm Wines lab test every wine to ensure it is sugar-free.
Here's a secret your grocery store does not want you to know. At ThriveMarket.com, get up to 50% off all your organic groceries delivered to your door for free. Shop organic, non-GMO, gluten-free, and paleo. And get a free jar of coconut oil. Thrive Market. Wholesome products, wholesale prices. Get your free coconut oil today only at ThriveMarket.com.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. You're listening to the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. I'm your host, Dr. Aaron Ernst, and yes, this is a show where pounds are shed, disease is dead, and where you can be set free from your health problems when you become your own doctor and you heal yourself. We're in the middle of a series that I'm doing called How to Heal Yourself. And last week, I talked about the number one healing system, your brain and your spinal cord, and how that electrical communication is responsible for the function of your organs. So if you have an organ problem, you have a spine problem. If you have a spine problem, you have a brain-to-organ communication problem. And you can't feel this, guys. You can't. Now, if you wake up and you go, Doc, my neck hurts, well, then you got a bigger problem. Because not only is it interfered with, but now it's been there for so long, it's caused inflammation that you can now see it and go, right there, Doc, something's wrong. Okay, that means it's more than 40% compressed, irritated, and damaged. Not a good idea, guys. But many of you wait until it hurts, so I get it. But don't do that anymore, okay? I get it. Especially us guys, right? Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, what if it's breaking and you weren't aware of it? What if I lift up the hood to your car and 7% of your timing belt is ripped? Think about this, guys. Still going to work, but you hear this kind of... Okay, at some point, you know what's going to happen is it's going to break. Now, you have two options. You can fix it now, or you can fix it when it breaks. Which one do you think is easier? It's going to cost you the same no matter what. But the one is inconvenience when it's broken and it doesn't work at all, right? Like, nothing's happening. Or your belt's broken. Well, how am I going to get to work? Take an Uber. Well, what am I going to do with my car? Get it fixed. So you can do that right now, or you can do it later. Okay, it's the same. All right, so it's the same concept. Stop waiting until you hurt to fix yourself. Start investigating to see why aren't you healing yourself. That's why my webinar next Saturday is How to Heal Yourself, the 3 secret steps to activate self-healing. Would you like to join me? It's free. How much does it cost? Nothing. Just an hour or an hour and a half of your time on a Saturday. So look, you're either not doing anything anyway, or you're doing something, but it's not as important as you healing yourself, so you have to make the call. Should I set aside an hour and a half of my time to learn how to fix myself, or should I do whatever it was I was planning on doing? Okay, I pick the latter. I will always. You know, if you tell me something like, hey, at 6 o'clock tonight, there's a webinar to show you how to take $100 and turn it into $1 million. Do you think I'm going to get on that? Yeah, of course I am. You think I'm going to say, oh, no, my kids have soccer and I'm not going to be able to make it? No, I'm going to go, you know what, kids? Soccer's canceled tonight. Dad's going to make $1 million. I'll buy a soccer team that you can be on if you want. Like, that's how I think. So where am I going with this? Carve out some time on Saturday the 12th at 10 a.m. An hour and a half of your time is worth it if I can show you what to do so you can heal yourself from whatever you have going on. Now, here's the cool thing. How am I going to know what you have going on? Ready? You register. You send us your name. You send us your email. We send you confirmation. You'll get a survey. And guess what the survey says? What's wrong with you? Do you want to fix it? And let me help you with it. It's that easy, guys. What's wrong with you? My back hurts. Do you want to fix it? Yes. I'll show you how to do it on the webinar. My thyroid is dysfunctional. Do you want to fix it? No. Then I can't help you. Sorry. My thyroid's bad. Do you want to fix it? Yes. Then I'll show you how to do it. Like, it's really that easy. It's not that complicated. All you have to do is tell me if you want me to tell you what to do. And look, there's no medications. There's no surgeries. It's all up to you. 704-906-2094. Call it. We have a call center that'll pick up. They'll ask for information. Text it if you don't want to talk to anybody. Look, it's easy. Name, first, last, email. That's all you have to send us because your number comes through automatically, and we will register you automatically for it next Saturday, 10 a.m. Okay, today we've been talking about how your gut wants to heal you. It does. It's down there going, please, let me heal you. Stop causing damage and I can fix you. What am I talking about? Well, you got to stop the irritation, the leak. You got to let the cells come back together. Okay, your body will do it by itself just like a cut can heal. You guys see it? It's a cut. But it's a microscopic cellular cut causing irritation to the intestinal lining. So the mucus dies down, the bacteria leaks through, your pancreas freaks out, you become inflamed, and you get what's called disease. Dis-ease, the lack of having ease in your life. Look, your life should be easy. Your health should be easy, but it's dis-eased. You see it? Or is it just me? Dis-ease. Okay? What does a gut affect? Everything. Sinuses can get inflamed. If you ever like have that thing where you're like, oh, it's just seasonal, every November to December, I have allergies. Something's wrong with that. It's not supposed to happen. Well, my doctor said it's regular. He's wrong too. It might be that everybody has it, but you shouldn't. How do I know? I've been had an allergy issue in years. I got my gut fixed. Guess what? All my allergies went away. All of them. My asthma cleared up. My acid reflux that I used to have, my heart palpitations. Look, some of you know my story. I was really sick. I got my spine fixed. I got my gut cleared out. Boom. Body healed. Anxiety, right? I've met a lot of people who are like, man, I don't know. Like, I'm so anxious. I'm so like, I can't calm down. Like, what if? You know those people? I'm sure you know some of them. Then you got the ones that are like, I don't really care. Like, I don't feel good. It's a doom and gloom, dark cloud. Guess what, guys? That's your gut. Ladies, if you are having breakouts all over your face, or you got like rosacea, or lots of wrinkles, right? Or like spots on your hands, that's a gut. Gut. Rosacea, psoriasis, eczema, gut. IBS, that's obvious, right? If your colon's inflamed, your gut's going to be inflamed. But now here's a big one nobody talks about. Your gut makes you energetic. If your adrenals are stressed out, you are tired. Boy, you're tired, especially 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock in the afternoon, right? It's like a clockwork. Ready? 1:59 and 58 seconds. 4 o'clock, wide awake. That's a gut. That's a gut. And joints. Okay, so if your knees hurt when you wake up in the morning and you walk around and you're like, oh, I feel good. I guess I just need to get up earlier. No. Get your gut fixed. Then we talked about the big one. Nobody's talking about this, guy. Nobody. How the microbiome bacteria in your gut can cause certain foods you eat to turn into a product called TMA, which goes to your liver. It's turned into TMAO, which goes in and has effects. It affects your body. It makes you have heart disease. It makes you have a heart attack. It causes you to gain weight. It causes you to have type 2 diabetes. It causes you to have kidney disorders. And nobody's talking about this. Okay, so let's talk about it. What happens? An inappropriate bacterial relationship in your intestines have been developed. How did that happen? Number one, you took an antibiotic. Straight up, you did it to yourself. Okay? If you take an antibiotic, it doesn't just selectively pick your sinuses and clean them out. It cleans everything. It kills all the bacteria in your gut, except for the ones that survive. So you have resistance, antibiotic resistance, and you have bacteria that are antibiotic resistant. You're supposed to have about 7,000 different strains of bacteria in your gut. So watch this. You had a perfectly healthy gut, sealed, and somehow someone convinced you that your sinus problems was an infection. Doctor. So they gave you an antibiotics, and you just went, okay, and you swallowed it, and then your gut went, and everything died except for about maybe 700 strains. So those 700 say, hey, everybody left. Party. They take over the intestines. Because you got to have bacteria in there. You can't live without it. So basically what happens is those 700 say, we own this place. And they're like the mafia. They go in and they're like, nobody else can be here except for us unless you pay your dues. And guess what happens? Now you have an overgrowth of bacteria. It's called a small intestine bacterial overgrowth. And the research says now you have brain problems, skin problems, thyroid problems, adrenal problems. And you go back to your doctor and you're like, hey, doc, sinuses are cleared, but now my joints hurt. And they're like, you're getting old. Or you say, hey, my sinuses are clear, but like I'm tired. Like I don't understand. And I don't know. I just don't feel good. Well, welcome to 40. I don't know. Whatever they say. Okay. You got high blood pressure now. Welcome to the club. I got it too. Listen, I hate to say it. I teach my patients how to become really educated when they talk to their doctors. And one of my patients actually recorded the conversation that they had with their doctor. And then they played it back to me and said, what do you think? And I heard, I'm not going to say names, I heard a medical doctor say, welcome to the club. I take them too. And I'm like, I'm sorry. You want to go to a doctor who gets people off medications, if you ask me. That's a real doctor. Okay? Some people always say, well, Dr. Ernst, you're not a real doctor. I don't want to be a medical doctor. That's why I didn't get a medical degree. I want to be somebody who coaches and teaches you how to heal yourself. That, to me, is a real doctor. And in fact, you're supposed to be the doctor yourself. You, yes, you. I'm pointing right at you. I see you. Yep. You're supposed to heal yourself. But I don't know what to do. Then come to my webinar. It's next Saturday, the 12th of September, 10 a.m. Doc, I don't have the time. Register for it anyway. And then don't show up, and guess what our computer does? Hey, John, we missed you. Here's the replay. Watch it whenever you want. Well, I don't think I can do that. Well, then I can't help you. Because if you can't dedicate some time to even watch a replay, how am I going to do that? Now, you know what you will do? You're going to sit for 3 hours watching TV at night, wasting away, causing your gut to leak by eating popcorn that's genetically modified and drinking beverages that's going to bore a hole in your stomach. Do you guys see where I'm going with this? You do have the ability. You just have to set it at a higher priority than what you're doing right now. Oh, I just irritated some of you. What about high blood pressure, Doc? Like, I've been struggling. What does it say about that? Well, guess what? There's a study that says they observed 2 strains of bacteria. If I even try to pronounce them, I'm not going to be able to. Let's do this. Mruminococcus torcus. Man, that's a tough one. EU Bacterium ceranarium. And A. Finigoldi. The names of these bacteria, if those 3 are present, guess what they found out? They cause a leak that causes an inflammatory process that causes high blood pressure. On the contrast, listen to this. If the bacteria Bacteroides theateotacomicron, BT, Bacteroides theateotacomicron, if that one is present, then your blood pressure is lower. See what I'm talking about? I'm going to read the conclusion. This model and our data suggests that these 2 bacteria, B. theotacomicron and E. rectale, rectal bacteria, are the most entrenched in the pathophysiology of high blood pressure. What does that mean? These are the 2 most highest studied bacteria in relationship to having healthy blood pressure. So if you have high blood pressure problems, guess what? You're missing BT and ER. Yeah, they're missing, according to this study. What about cancer, Doc? You said earlier that it could cause cancer. Well, a study was published in the PLOS 1 journal by Thomas Jefferson University that found out, this is February 21st, that found out that a specific hormone receptor that I'm going to call GC was previously identified as a tumor suppressor. Now listen, when the bacteria got out in the body, this GC thing stopped working. It stopped suppressing tumors. So the bacteria cause you to suppress tumors. When you don't have them, you can't suppress it, so you get cancer. The Gastroenterology Cancer Program at Jefferson Kimmel Cancer Center discovered that if you turn this suppressor off, you get intestinal, liver, lung, and lymph node tumors. Whoa! So that's why you need to join me next Saturday. We're running out of time, so here's what I'm going to do. 704-906-2094. 704-906-2094. 704-906-2094. Call it or text your name and your email, and I'll see you guys at 10 a.m. next week and also 3 p.m. as we do the 3rd part of the organ that wants to heal you. Until then, adios.